Have you ever wondered if your life story is already written? Like you're just along for the ride? Well, what if I told you that you're not just the star of your own movie, but you're also one of the writers? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty amazing idea that could totally change how you see, well, everything: your past, your present, and especially your future.
For forever, really, we've been stuck on this question: nature versus nurture. Are we just puppets of our DNA, or are we completely shaped by our environment? It's a huge debate, but it turns out we might have been asking the wrong question all along. The real answer is way more fascinating.
So, the old way of thinking was kind of like a set of dominoes, right? One bad gene, one nasty germ, and boom, you're sick. It's simple: cause and effect. But this new idea, the life course model, sees life more like a really complex game of chess. It's this lifelong dance between our biology, the choices we make, and the world we live in. And the key idea is how every single experience, big or small, literally gets under our skin and helps rewrite our story as we go.
Okay, so to really get this, we have to look at our lives on three different levels. And we're going to start by zooming all the way in, deep inside to the biological foundation of who you are.
First up is what's called the inner individual level. The easiest way to think about this is like your personal source code. It's your unique genetic blueprint, it's how your body is wired, and it's even your basic personality, all the raw material that makes you, you. So here you've got the building blocks, right? Your genes, your brain, how you react to stress. And for a really long time, this is what science focused on, looking at these pieces separately. And don't get me wrong, they are absolutely crucial. But they're just the opening chapter of a much, much bigger story. Because we're more than just our biology, aren't we? We're the ones in the driver's seat, making decisions every single day that change our lives. And that brings us to the next level, our own individual journey. So this second layer is the individual level. This is all about your personal agency. It's that drive we all have to shape our world, to make it fit our goals. We're talking about the real, tangible results of your actions. The degree you earn, the career you build, the family you start, where you decide to call home.
And you can see here how these choices stack up. Every decision, what you study, where you work, who you love, it's like another stepping stone on your own unique path. This is literally the story that you write for yourself, day by day, choice by choice.
But here's the twist. None of our choices happen in a bubble, right? We're making them on a stage that has already been set for us. So now we've got to zoom all the way out to that third and final level, the powerful and often invisible forces of our cultural context. This is the super individual level, and it's basically everything outside of you that shapes your life, from your closest friends and family to the economy and social norms. This level doesn't just define what goals are even available to you. It also teaches you how to adapt when you can't get what you want. It shapes not just what you strive for, but how you cope with life's challenges.
You know, this quote from the sociologist Dwayne Alwyn it completely nails it. The lives of individuals are embedded and shaped by historical time and place where they live. The era you're born into, the country you grow up in, that's the hand you're dealt, and it influences every single choice you'll ever make.
I mean, just look at this timeline. Back in 1960, the script for life was pretty clear, especially for things like marriage and work. Then, fast forward to the 80s, and huge social shifts are happening. By the year 2000, the internet comes along and just rewrites the rules for everything. And today, remote work and global connections are creating paths that our grandparents couldn't have even imagined. These are like cultural earthquakes that change the very ground beneath our feet. So here's the most important part. These three levels, your inner biology, your individual choices, and your cultural world, they aren't in separate boxes. Nope, they are in a constant, dynamic conversation with each other, every single moment of our lives. And a huge piece of this conversation is timing. Think about it. The exact same event can have a totally different impact depending on when it happens. Let's say a family moves to a new city. For a 2-year-old, that's one thing. For an 18-year-old, it's something completely different. Why? Because their brains and their bodies are in totally different, sensitive periods of development. When things happen matters. A lot.
Now, this brings us to one of the most exciting ideas in all of science: plasticity. It's basically our biological superpower of adaptation. It means we're not set in stone. We're more like clay, constantly being reshaped by our experiences. We are literally built to change.
And if you're wondering how that works, let me introduce you to epigenetics. Think of your DNA as a giant library full of instruction manuals. Epigenetics is like the librarian who decides which manuals get pulled off the shelf and read. And what tells the librarian what to do? Your experiences. The food you eat, the stress you're under, the love you get, all of it sends signals that can turn genes on or off. This is how the world literally gets inside you and changes your biological story. Okay, so when you put all of this together, these three interacting levels, the importance of timing, and our incredible ability to adapt, it forces us to completely rethink what it means to be a self. You are not just a static thing that's defined by your genes. You're a dynamic, unfolding process. You are being constantly co-created by this never-ending dialogue between your inner biology and the world all around you. You're a story that is always, always being written. So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, first, your life is not predetermined. It is a developmental process. Second, this process is a multi-level story, from your biology to your world. Third, culture and history play a massive role in the opportunities you get. And finally, timing is everything, and our bodies are beautifully designed to adapt. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. Knowing that your story isn't written in stone, knowing that it's co-authored by your biology, your own choices, and the historical moment you live in, how does that change the way you see your own path, your past, your present, and all the possibilities for your future?